spinning, I'm losing my grip. Storage costs rising, they'll never let me skip. Refunds I'm eating, returns pile up too. Oh, Amazon, what else will you do? I look at my dashboard, my profits erased. My margins are gone, it's a slap in the face. Prime Day's a promise, but it's such a race. How much will I make if I'm replaced? It's a cruel, cruel number. Fees keep climbing, profits torn asunder. Oh, it's cruel, the sellers wonder how to survive when the margins go under. It's a cruel, cruel number. Every month it's something new to plunder. Oh, it's cruel, it's no wonder we're stuck in this game, the algorithm's thunder.
Yo, Amazon's back, and they got a new scheme. Reimbursement slashed, it's every seller's dream. They're digging deep, taking more from the pot. Let's break it all down, expose what they got. March 25, it's a policy drop. They say manufacturing costs, but we know it's a flop. Give us your cogs, they're demanding the price. But if you don't, they'll estimate nice. Nice for them, not for you. Watch a payout shrink. That comprehensive evil is a corporate wing. Lost in the warehouse, damaged on the floor. Now they pay you pennies, not a cent more. Fees on the rise, profits on the run. They don't lift a finger, but they pocket the fun. We're fair! They shout while they cut our shares. Amazon math, man, it's full of errors. Fees, taking our dough. They're stacking the deck, and it's sellers who owe. Reimbursements? Nah, they're taking us down, but we're still here, we don't mess around. Fees, straight to the top. Amazon's game, it'll never stop. Margins tight, but we keep the grind. Sellers unite, we're one of a kind.
I try to sell my product on Amazon, thought it'd be a breeze. But little did I know I'd be stuck with seller support disease. They never seem to solve my problems, just give me the runaround. I'm tired of waiting on hold. My patience is wearing thin, I'll never be found. Amazon seller support, you suck, you suck, you suck. Can't get no satisfaction. I'm out of luck, out of luck, out of luck. You don't care about my business, just trying to make a buck. Amazon seller support, you suck, you suck, you suck.
This one's for the sellers on the grind, getting left on red, wasting all their time. I hit up support, got an auto reply. Thanks for your patience, man, I wanna cry. Inventory lost, my margins are toast. The reps playing tag like the Casper the Ghost. They pass me around, it's a never-ending game. Nobody takes action, everybody shifts blame. My ASIN's down, I'm out of the race. They say they'll escalate, yo, what a disgrace. Amazon seller support, you're breaking my heart. No answers, no fixes, just tearing me apart. Hours in the queue, stuck in the dark. Amazon seller support, you're missing the mark.
Amazon game plan, that is the key. Seller Central dashboard, that's where I be. Analyze the funnel, see what we lack, then we optimize. Sellers know it's a fact. I get it poppin', you know that it's lit. Climbing the rankings, ain't no room to quit. I check the data, they notice the stats. I keep the method, that's how you adapt. Metrics are showing, you know it's our cap. Amazon sellers, it's time to react. I'm about that action, I do this with passion. I got them like, whoa, what is this? Huh, whoa.
I don't know, dude. I think everybody's just buying stuff based on reviews and badges or whatever. They don't even know who we are. These customers don't even know the name of my brand. But they keep clicking add to cart like it's part of the plan. They see that Amazon badge and think it's all grand. But yo, they don't even know the name of my brand.
Click, scroll, build your store. Amazon's waiting, what you waiting for? Brand it loud, make it shine. Steven's here to drop the rhyme. Blue tiles, banners, plug and play. Your storefront's live, let's sell a day. Now listen up, I'm Steven Pope, Amazon guru, I'll help you cope. Step 1, Get that trademark stamped. Without brand registry, your Amazon cramped. Head to Seller Central, log in quick. Manage stores tab, yeah, that's the trick. Upload your logo, flex that style. You're about to make Jeff Bezos smile. Where pick a template, marquee or grid. Drop your tiles like a branding whiz. Hero image, big and bold. This store's gonna glitter like digital gold. Scroll, build your store. Amazon's waiting, what you waiting for? Brand it loud, make it shine. Steven's here to drop the rhyme. Blue tiles, banners, plug and play. Your storefront's live, let's sell today. Yo. In the trenches of the Amazon game, trying to survive while it's driving me insane. Nobody warns you, they just claim it's passive income. Nah, it's pain. I'm sitting at a birthday, laughing, chilling, next to a newbie Amazon seller spilling. She's like, Prime so smooth, it's a killer. Then tried to sell, now she's stuck in a thriller. Finding products, yeah, that's the first grind. Scrolling Alibaba, losing my mind. Sample suck, manufacturers decline. I'm like, dang, how's anyone doing this fine? Ship it in, pay for the bubble wrap, but they ship glass bottles in padded crap. Now I got hot sauce leaks, refund stacked, customers pissed. Man, I'm under attack. Amazon's a beast, it's a fight, no peace. From SEO to PPC, the hustle don't cease. Think it's passive? Nah, you better increase your tolerance for chaos or face defeat. Trademark wars, brand registries a scam. They banned my brand, now I'm in a jam. Listings yanked, products ranked and tanked. Lost dogs in the catalog, my account shanked. Now let's talk ads, it's a rabbit hole. 1,000 hours deep, man, it's taking my soul. Weekly negations, bulk sheets for control. Excel's my new weapon, but it's taking its toll. SEO's no joke, keywords in the game. Alt text, A+ content, playing insane. Lifestyle shots, avatars for fame, but the CTR's low, all products look the same. Amazon's a beast, it's a fight, no peace. From SEO to PPC, from SEO to PPC, the hustle don't cease. Think it's passive? Nah, you better increase your tolerance for chaos or face defeat.
Let's go to Max School. To Max School. Class is now in session with Professor Pope.
They got the S&P cause Professor Pope wrote the recipe, helping Amazon sellers grow sales exponentially. Amazon's a jungle, but we map the strategy. Brand strategist playbook, it's a guide to victory. Troubleshooting catalog, you know we got the answer key. Boosting all your rankings, turning sales into a legacy. SOB so deep, you think we studied at Max School. Every step we follow leads to growth, yeah, it's a golden rule. Stuck on keywords, we'll find the ones that work the best. Using Helium-10, strike distance keywords pass the test. Incremental indexing ensures the listing set to rise. From the back end to the bullets, optimization hits the skies. Brand store creation, yeah, we make it shine and flow. A+ content design makes conversions overflow. Need your images on point, best practices in the plan. All text and photo rules ensure your visuals command. SEO meets PPC, it's balanced, every step aligned. We'll construct the MKLs that drive rankings over time. Budget caps and bid adjustments, no more wasted spending. Segmentation builds campaigns that sellers can defend. Got a hijacker, no problem, we'll file to take them down. Review requests in action, 5-star ratings come around. Flat file updates, market share reports, it's all in reach. Professor Pope wrote the Urso Pete so sellers learn and teach.
Meanwhile, my Amazon guys on the case, fixing up my problems at lightning pace. Ticket escalations, Mag's the boss. Even Amazon says we'll take the loss. Seller support don't know what's up. Passing the buck when the issue gets tough. They're the official team, but they can't comply. So they say, reach out to my Amazon guy. They're supposed to be the pros, but they can't decode policies and tools from their own damn road. I'm paying fees, yet they bring me stress. But Mag turns my chaos into pure success. Seller support reps, they throwing shade, but then admit, yo, Mag will get you paid. Third-party agency taking the throne while Amazon fumbles in their own damn zone. Seller support don't know what's up. Passing the buck when the issue gets tough. They're the official team, but they can't comply. So they say, reach out to my Amazon guy. So here's the truth, let's keep it real. Mag's the team with the pro-level skill. Amazon sellers, you know the vibe when support says call Mag. They'll give you peace of mind. Amazon seller support, you can suck my image stack. Sucking is all you're good at anyway. Bezos, hit me up if you want to sell seller support. I'm buying. There's a chase. Peace.
bad time for me to have something in my eye here. But anyways, happy Friday, everybody. My name is Noah Wickham. I'm VP of Sales and Marketing here at My Amazon Guy. And I am here to answer any and all questions that you might have. E-commerce related, Amazon related, Shopify. You want to ask me about current events in the world? Go ahead, I suppose. I won't answer everything, but I'll answer most everything. So, all that being said, happy Friday. Excited to be here. We have extra time today, so I'll probably be live for, I don't know, hour 15, hour and a half, maybe, if we're getting some good questions, some good feedback. I know it's, midsummer, so not everyone's going to be here, but if you have a question of some kind, throw it in the chat now, and we'll get to it as we get to it. So we have people who are throwing questions in as early as like 9 a.m. So 3 hours ago. I guess I'm East Coast, so 9 a.m. But let's get to it. First and foremost on the docket. What can you do when Amazon keeps denying your sourcing cost? Meanwhile, the Amazon estimate is about half of the sourcing cost. Seller support is not helping. Your help will be greatly appreciated. Yep. So Amazon changed where essentially they have a cost of goods and the sourcing cost, and that's what they will pay you at any given time. The issue being is that they come up with one based off of industry averages that they have internally with their own software and data. The biggest thing that I would typically say here is just if you have an inventory invoice from your manufacturer and you can prove that is how much you paid, so get the invoice, get the actual payment receipt from your bank. So you should be able to show that you wired and paid X amount of dollars that corresponds with X invoice. You should very easily be able to show Amazon that this is your cost of goods, even if it is much higher than what they list their average as. So that's really the only way to go about it. Unfortunately, you just have to have that invoice and whatnot. If you're not getting an invoice like that from your manufacturer, I would start there. That's a big problem. But yeah, it shouldn't be too big of a hassle. I've seen people, you can usually raise the average cost about 15% from what they list without an invoice. Anything past 15%, and you usually have to go down the rabbit hole of providing an invoice, providing payment receipts, so on and so forth. Let's see how to get the red save X% badge, which is associated to the lowest price in 30 days on my listing, meaning which price field I should discount to get this badge. Yeah, so this is super simple. This is what we call a strike-through discount, where it shows one price, it's stricken through, and then another price with a percentage discount. So all this is you will have a list price, and then you will have a sale price field on your listing. So you can do that. Now, if it's a brand new listing, you can't get that percentage off. So you have to have an average selling price or a was selling price over the last 30 days. So you need at least 30 days of sales data in order to get that strike through pricing. But it's as simple as just adding in that sale price field and you'll be able to get it. I am currently saying the list price for $29.99. I have been saying the sale price for $27.99 for more than 30 days now. But when I reduced the price yesterday, I didn't get the badge. Another issue that I'm facing, which I have raised my sale price from $25.99 to $27.99 in the last 30 days and avoided applying any discounts or promotions over this month, is that I wanted to, I don't know, and that's all he has. Raise the minimum allowed promotion discount on Amazon system from $24.69 to $26.59. But after those 30 days have passed, I tried to run a discount coupon for net price of $26.59, and I got error message telling me to raise the discount to $24.99 as it was before those 30 days. Yep. So this is the difference between average selling price and was price. Right. So you have to have an average selling price. So just because you raise the price over the course of 30 days does not give you an average selling price, right? Because the big thing you have to understand is that you were selling your product at a different price. So you have to actually have both the was price. So what was your was price? That is what affects typically promotions of some kind. Not coupons. Coupons usually go off of the lowest price within the last 30 days. It sounds like maybe you're not actually tracking the 30 days as well, because that's not normally how this works. But yeah, the percentage field should show up with the sale price, but realistically, if your list price and then a sale price, it's always going to go off of your was and your average price. Was price being the lowest price you have had in the last 30 days, and then your average selling price being exactly that. What is the average price you have been selling the product at within a certain time frame? Hi, Noah. How are you doing? I have multiple questions related to pricing on versus off Amazon. We'll send them one by one in next messages. Apologize in advance if there are too many questions. All good, Serge. On my website, I sell my product for $24. I'm launching it on Amazon for $30. Will Amazon suppress my price? How strict is Amazon about your off Amazon pricings, and how good is it at finding those? They are pretty strict about it, and they are pretty good at finding it. Now, if you don't attach a UPC to your off Amazon, it makes it a little bit harder for them to find it, but I can almost assure you they will find it. Their AI and their detection system has gotten really, really good at crawling people's websites. I actually posted a video a couple of weeks back talking about how Amazon now will suppress people's listings for specifically just like text and claims that they make on their website that Amazon doesn't show, right? So they're really good at it. Now, you can skirt under the radar for a short while, sure, but eventually it will catch up to you. What happens is they essentially just suppress the listing for a high pricing error. So Amazon wants the price on Amazon and on your website to be the exact same, as well as every other website across the board. See it often with people who do wholesale in some capacity, that, you know, some wholesaler will list it for $10 cheaper on their website because they're okay with only having a 5% margin, and, you know, you end up getting hit with a high pricing error. So yeah, I would probably not do it long term, but short term it's fine. You know, just know that it will get caught at some point in time. Again, there are ways to skirt this by not having UPC attached, things like that, but it's still fairly difficult. How can you have the same prices on and off Amazon if you have different fees and margins on each platform? Do all Amazon sellers really have their off Amazon prices higher or equal to Amazon prices? Yeah, so not everyone does, right? Not everyone does, but you're kind of supposed to, and you kind of have to at some point in time. And so the realistic thing to say there is everyone who is selling off Amazon is just making a way higher margin for their product, right? So this is where we get into the conversation of things like map pricing policies, where you have a minimum advertised price. And essentially, whatever your Amazon price is what the minimum advertised price of your product is typically going to be and should be. Now, is that, you know, the case across the board at all times? No, not necessarily. But it is something that, you know, you have to take note of, something you should know about. And realistically, it just means, yeah, you're just going to be making higher margins on your own site and on potentially other sites compared to Amazon. But, you know, that's one of the catches, is that it's also more expensive to advertise on other sites a lot of times and trying to get traffic. The average customer acquisition cost on Amazon is going to be much, much lower than the customer acquisition cost for your own website at the end of the day. And that's just because Amazon already has the people there, right? You already have the audience and the entire market who shops on Amazon versus your website. Nobody knows your website, right? So you're going to have a lower conversion rate on your website. You're going to have a harder time getting people to your website. It's going to be more expensive usually. So you say higher margins and stuff like that, it's up in the air. It's, you know, 50-50, in my opinion, on whether or not that's fully true all the time. But yeah, people just, it's good to have a minimum advertised price that you just stick with across the board anyways, because it also helps just keep your brand very stable and looks a lot nicer. You have multiple clients. How do you manage all their prices outside Amazon, and do all of them really sell for the same or higher price off Amazon? How do you handle this problem in Mac? Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think the biggest thing at the end of the day is exactly what I said. Have a minimum advertised price, and it's not a problem, right? You can still have the same cost of goods. You still have everything. The only difference is that you have an extra, 3 line items in there. Actually, not even 3, like 2 line items. Line item number 1 is the Amazon referral fee, right? And line item number 2, which doesn't really even count because you're going to have this anyway, but would be the fulfillment fee, which you still are going to have on shipping, or on Shopify or anything like that. So the reality is, I think the problem you're having here is this idea of like having Amazon, which let's say you have 25% margin on Amazon, but then on your website, due to not having that referral fee of 15%, you instead have 40% margins, right? All it is just meaning that on your website, you're able to have, a little bit higher of a ROAS or lower of a ROAS, and you're able to have a higher customer acquisition cost, about 15% higher. And reality is, I mean, there are companies that I think the thing you're even getting into, Serge, if you really want to think about it, is this idea of there are brands and companies out there that sell in, like, let's say 20 different countries that all have different tax codes. They all have different markets. They sell them all at different prices, etc. Right? Like, all you're really kind of saying is, hey, this is really difficult. Which it is. It is kind of frustrating, but you have to think of it with every single marketplace and everywhere you sell as a kind of different area, right? A different retail orientation. What if your client wants to run a discount on their website, so the website price may temporarily become lower? Is this allowed or not, or how to do it safely? Do they inform you about such moves? Yeah, so technically speaking, discounts aren't supposed to apply to the high pricing error that you can get on Amazon. However, I have seen situations where that's not the case, especially if there's a very large discount. Great example, I think it was last year or the year before, we had a client internally where they also did a lot of like retail wholesale. And so they were selling to, I think it was Nordstrom. And Nordstrom wanted to clear out their stock. And so Nordstrom through like a 30+% discount on all of the products. Amazon flagged that and it was like, hey, high pricing error. We obviously fought back against it because it's a discount. We're also not in control of the pricing that they do. Eventually we got it cleared up with Amazon, but yeah, it was annoying because for a week or two there, we couldn't have it. You can have some variance in your overall pricing. Usually it's about 15% before Amazon really will flag you for high pricing error. It also depends on how often and how long you are running that pricing discount, right? Because the big aspect that you have to think about is if I have a pricing discount that is constant all the time, let's say Amazon system checks once every 3 months, it's going to see it. Whereas if I'm just running a short-term discount for, I don't know, a week or two, very unlikely that they're going to catch that. If you aren't using Vine, how to get reviews quickly and safely at launch. Aside from inserts, request emails, how risky is it to ask a distant friend to buy? What tips, tricks do you recommend? I don't like doing any of that. Personally speaking, I just don't think the reviews at launch matter. I really don't. It's one of those things that I know a lot of people struggle with, the idea of not having reviews. I look at it and I'm like, what's the point, right? There is not really a difference. Like, think of it in terms of a restaurant, right? Like a new restaurant launch of some kind. Are you going to, because it's a new launch of some kind, not go to that restaurant until it has, 5 reviews, right? If you look at a restaurant on Google right now and you look one up for lunch that you're going to go to today, Serge, and you see that there are only 5 reviews on Google, right? And those 5 reviews are a cumulative 4.3, 4.2 even. Is that a restaurant is that going to deter you from going to that restaurant, right? Especially if it's like a food you're craving. It's something you actually want, it's something you need. You're like, yeah, I really want lunch at this place. It's here. It's a good price. It looks like they have good menu. They have good pricing, but it only has 5 4.2 star reviews. My point being, and maybe I'm wrong in how you look at reviews of things, but my point being with that is that when you're starting out and launching, reviews don't matter nearly as much. The number one way to get more reviews is to get more sales. That is the only thing you should focus on at launch. Now, is it nice to have the nice Vine reviews? Sure. But Vine also has an average of 4.0 stars, if not nowadays 3.9 stars. And if you have any product that is consumable or it has any technical usage whatsoever, and it's not just a very simple commodity product like a deck of cards or something, it's not worth it, right? It's not worth it to risk having a low star. What happens if, 5 or 10 of those Vine reviews come back as 1 star, right? It ruins your entire product launch. Let's see. Oh, here we go. I need some suggestions for organic sales on newly launched private label listing. 50% of your target list price, along with a very, rigorous strategy for your actual SEO. You're not going to get like immediate traction most of the time on organic listings. It just doesn't happen, right? So you want to essentially just bolster. So assume you're going to have a 50% tacos. You want to be at roughly 50% of your retail price, whatever you want to be. So your MSRP, I guess. And then from there, you just raise it up over time. That's really what it comes down to. It's not rocket science, and it's been pretty tried and true for the last few years. I know. I have just recently applied for an internship, brand manager from Pakistan. I have clear screening process, culture index successfully, but after 8 days, I got rejection email. What the reason? I don't know. I would have to look into it to our HR. I know for right now, we usually don't accept outside of a couple of different countries. So we're more so focused within, especially for brand managers, we usually hire within North America only for brand manager position. That being said, we hire for all sorts of other positions globally. So maybe it's just wrong position. At the end of the day, you can always ask our HR team or recruiting team, and they would be happy to get back to you. It's true that Amazon launched the customized dashboard for account and PPC. It's not, it's right or not. And we can customize them on our own criteria. Yeah. So you're talking about the new custom analytics. It's technically not launched across the board. It's only in select accounts. So it's technically like a beta. I like it. I like it a lot. I have been in Amazon for over a decade, and I wish a decade ago they had this. There's actually kind of next to no reason why a decade ago they couldn't have something like this, other than Amazon is just a data warehouse that they like to keep very tight knit. So that's the big thing at the end of the day in my mind. I love this. I love this data. I love Amazon being like, yeah, here's data. Here's customer targeting. Here's audience groups. I love that they're finally releasing data to people because they have held it so tight knit for so long. And it's like, dude, please. There's no reason. Please. So yeah, I like it a lot. It's exceptionally useful. If I want someone to purchase my Amazon product, should I share a direct link to it or ask them to search on Amazon manually? Search on Amazon manually using one of your keywords. Always. Never share a direct link unless you're sharing like a direct link to like your social media or something. And it's a brand referral bonus link. I know. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Do storage fees start when the inventory is in transit, when it's received, or after it's Prime eligible? When it's received. So if your inventory is received in the Amazon warehouse, you are going to have, they're not going to charge for transit. I believe it's after it's received into the warehouse. Prime eligible, technically anything that is received is Prime eligible. It just isn't actually going to show the 2-day Prime. It will be like 7-10 days once it's actually fully processed and in FC transfer. Is there a chance to get the ASIN review I missed yesterday? Yes. So you can actually go to myamazonguy.com/webinars and you can check out all of our webinars, our past ones. So you can check out the one from yesterday as well. Hello, brother. Hello. What is the exact and effective procedure of adding result-oriented keywords and removing bleeding keywords from campaigns? Ooh, that's a good question. So let's start with the removing bleeding keywords from campaigns. Negate them. Never be afraid to negate a bad keyword. Say it with me now. Never be afraid to negate a bad keyword. That is one of the crucial things that people miss on Amazon so often, is that they are afraid to negate bad keywords. Do not be afraid. Negating bad keywords and bleeding keywords is how you optimize campaigns. Now, how do you add result-oriented keywords? You do keyword research. So you utilize tools such as Data Dive, Helium 10 Cerebro, and Smart Scout to do competitor research, understand what your competitors are targeting. What is a high relevancy keyword, and what are you trying to gain from it? Are you trying to gain market share from them? Okay, so you should probably be targeting things like competitor search terms of some kind. Are you trying to just gain conversions? Okay, what is super high relevancy and super high search volume? That's going to be a conversion and click-through engine for you, right? So there's a lot of answers for this. It just kind of depends on overall what you're looking at. But the first aspect of that, negate bad keywords always. Don't be afraid to. Do you have any experience setting up a new deal? Like a new deal on Amazon? I mean, yeah, quite a bit actually. Amazon removed my product from ads because they said it's adult. However, nothing on the imaging goes against terms of service. They keep denying it. However, they mentioned something about A+ content, and A+ content could be the alt text. Yeah, it could be a ton of things. So when things are flagged as adult, for reference, Viper, I have seen things as simply as someone mentioned the exact verbiage of not for children. And instead of it being flagged for adult, the word children got their product flagged for a child product. And they went through an entire process where they needed to get the child safety certification for the product. And so, yeah, you can absolutely get your product flagged for adult through search terms, through indexed terms, through the actual content on the images as well. All of those things, even things that you are advertising as far as search terms, all of those are things that can get you flagged for adult. The best advice I have for you, whenever facing a situation like this also works for things like organic claims and whatnot. Go through and just take out the entire A+ content. So just remove your A+ content from the listing, then go through and try and get it appealed and see if that's the case. If it is, then it worked out perfectly, and then you can re-upload A+ content after it's reapproved. Jeff, hi Noah. Does Mag still provide help with Walmart accounts, WMG? Yes, we do. My Walmart account was functioning just fine for over a year, and Walmart just flagged all of my supplements. Yeah, we absolutely do help out with that, Jeff. Feel free to shoot a message over to myself. I think you have my email, or you can shoot a message over to sales@myamazonguy.com, and we can help you out with that. I'll get somebody on my team to hook you up with some stuff. But yeah, absolutely, we still work on Walmart accounts. We do so frequently, have quite a few clients still working on. Actually, it's something I'm pushing a little bit more as of late, because Walmart has a ton of new seller incentives that they have kind of rolled out over the last couple of months. And so, yeah, Walmart's getting better and better to be on. I'm working on a product that has 104 competitors, 1,800 of search volume on MKW. Okay. 10 to 12 sellers are generating 100 plus sales every month, and some even generating 700 to 800 per month. What's the best strategy to compete? Anybody who listens to this podcast often will know how I feel about questions like this. So let me start with this. I will start with, it depends. So a couple of things. First and foremost, I have no idea what your category is. I don't know what your pricing is, right? So that's going to be a number or a huge factor. Are you selling your price, or are you selling your product for double the price of every one of the competitors that you just listed to me? Or are you half the price of them, right? So that's going to be a huge factor into the overall strategy. What is your pricing? Secondarily to that, if you're looking at just overtaking market share and you want to break in, how fast are you looking to overtake? Are you wanting to get to that 100 plus sales every month within the next month? Or do you want to get there in the next 6 months, right? Okay, if you want to get there in the next month, you're probably going to need a really aggressive ad strategy. You're probably going to need to dump a lot of money, probably 50% tacos at least. Now, if you are wanting to be a little bit more conservative, you can be more conservative, right? So the reality is, News World, what I'll tell you is you can go over to myamazonguy.com. We have a couple of different documents. One, the perfect launch strategy. Two, the perfect PPC launch strategy as well. And both of those are going to be exceptionally useful for you at the end of the day for understanding, strategy in general around these type of things. You can be extremely competitive. You can be not, but just asking what is the best strategy to compete with that little information is not feasible, say the least. It's going to really depend. Serge, thank you, Noah. Not a problem. Let's see. In a video some time ago, you talked about launching a luxury product in a crowded niche. It was a foam roller, ocean foam. You said to use long-term keywords like lumber support in that case. How did you find that keyword? Yeah, so super simple. I have a couple of videos on, if you go to our YouTube channel, which you're on right now, and you just search, honestly, search keyword probably, and you'll be able to find it. But if you search for something along those lines, you'll be able to find the video. And essentially the best way to do this is to take your top 5 competitors within the niche. So whatever niche is that you are launching yourself into, take the top 5 competitors within that niche, go into something like Cerebro, Helium 10, or do a data dive on those 5 competitors. So that will give you essentially all of the data you possibly could need around keywords. You will want to look for things that have above around 150, 250 search volume. You want to look for things like long tail will be 4 or greater keywords. It's a phrase, I should say, keyword phrase in that capacity that you'll target from an exact campaign standard. So that's, I guess, the low level of it. Now, getting into a little bit more specifics, especially when you're launching something that's luxury, you need to more so pivot yourself into that niche, especially if you're launching into a niche that doesn't have like a luxury brand within it. There might be a reason for that. But if there's not, you can still differentiate yourself enough within that, but you still need to target all the same keywords at the end of the day. Daniel, our order flow has been extremely volatile for a couple of years. Stops, sometimes no orders for hours, then get some orders in a row. Toys and novelties, we always have buy box. Not running out of ad spend, perfect account health, no change in anything, as if getting constant phantom account suspensions. Okay, so a couple of thoughts immediately come to mind. One, I would check your, I'm assuming you're running ads, right? And you say not running out of ad spend. Okay, you might not be running out of ad spend, but I would check and literally just pull up the campaign level report for your, and you're going to have to pull a ad spend report bulk file for this, but pull up the campaign level report, pull it up from an hourly perspective. Do a compare and contrast for the time frames in which you are saying that you're not getting any orders, and compare that to your ads. During those same time frames, are your ads doing anything? Are you getting impressions during those time? Okay, so you're not suppressed if you're getting impressions. Are you getting any clicks during that time? If yes, again, might just be a bad conversion time, right? There's a ton of different reasons for this type of thing that can happen. People aren't buying at all hours of the day. Even if you're a toys and novelty type person, I'm going to guess your primary ICP is probably parents, right? Young parents, maybe grandparents. Are they buying in the middle of the workday? A lot of times, probably not, right? So maybe that's part of it. Tons of different reasons for that, but that's where I would start your digging. Craig. Hello, Craig. Hi, what's the size of the product image in the search results for desktop and mobile? Would like to see the actual size on my device before publishing, so I see what the customer would see on the device. Yeah, so for desktop, it's 2000 by 2000 is my preferred recommended sizing. And then for mobile, the new wave thing to do is 1600 by 2000 is what you're looking for mobile. So it's actually interesting you bring this up, Craig, because we were just discussing this last week. Someone made a post on LinkedIn, I think it was, where they were saying like the idea of doing 2000 by 2000 is dead. You shouldn't do 2000 by 2000 anymore. It's dead. Don't do it anymore. Our data shows that nobody, this is, we get more traction with this 1600 by 2000. All it really comes down to is I would look at your business reports and look at your session percentage based off of desktop and mobile. If your session percentage is higher on mobile, you can have a more mobile friendly, mobile forward listing. If it's higher on desktop, have a higher overall, or have a higher resolution for desktop, the 2000 by 2000. So great example. We have a client, they sell a supplement that is primarily purchased and it's for eyesight, right? And it's primarily purchased by people in their late 50s, early 60s who can't see. These are not people who are buying on their phones. They have roughly about 60 to 80%, depending on the listing, session percentage for desktop buyers versus mobile buyers, right? So we always are optimizing their listings for desktop, whereas we have other, people, if you're a smartphone, right? Smartphone is a great one. If you sell phone cases in some capacity, I bet your session percentage for mobile buyers is super high, right? And so that's the type of thing where you want to make it very mobile friendly. So that's how I would do that versus just saying, hey, we should go with just this. But I should also say the 2000 by 2000, Amazon technically will do some resizing configuration on the back end for the mobile compatibility. I find A+ content also to be a bigger issue usually than the actual images. Do you think it's possible to launch a new product on Amazon US and get any sales without using any PPC at all? Yeah, I think it's possible. I don't think you're going to. It really depends on the product you're launching, the niche you're launching, right? Things like that. I think it's possible. Is it easy? No. Is it normal? No. It's pretty rare in this day and age. You asked me a decade ago, I'd be like, yeah, who's advertising at launch? You could upload a product with, a picture of your smartphone and, call it a day and people would still buy it. But nowadays it's just more rare. You can still do it. I see plenty of clients currently that do it. We have clients that still to this day don't advertise and they're doing over $1 million a year. Right. And so it's just really rare, but it's still possible for sure. Hi, Noah. If we're planning to launch a product with 500 units in inventory, what would you suggest as an ideal PPC budget for the launch? My suggestion always, if you're able to swing it, $2,000 to $4,000 a month. That's kind of what I consider the sweet spot, so to speak, within a good amount of spend for PPC. Now, it will be very category dependent, but I really wouldn't focus too much on your actual ad spend. I'd focus more on your metrics. So hitting a 50% tacos month one, that'll be pretty normal. And then trying to pull that down to 25% in month two, sitting somewhere between a 15 and 20, around 18% month three, and then kind of pulling back from there. So that's kind of perfect in my mind. Reality is that matters a lot more to me than how much you're actually spending on overall ads. Pro Hall, haven't seen you in a while. How's it going? Hell 9. Happy Friday. Okay. We have a new bottle design. Can I switch the image? So we have to go through to support. No, you can switch the image of your new bottle design. That's not an issue. You might face some problems, especially if you're, oh goodness, got some indigestion or something. Especially if you're changing like all packaging, all designs, everything to a full like new thing. As long as you're not changing the actual product itself, you shouldn't have major issue. You might face something if you have inventory in FBA and somebody complains and they're like, hey, this is a different product from what I received. But you shouldn't have too big of a problem with it, to be honest. Keith, how do you find average keyword conversion and click-through rate for a niche if I'm in the product research phase? There's not an easy way to do this. You can find click-through rate, so you can do that through things like Black Box. That would probably be the easiest way to do that, is to figure out things like click-through rate, conversion rate via category. Take top sellers within category. There's not an easy way, though. Nobody can just say specifically, this category has this click-through rate. Every category, every category, every conversion rate, click-through rate, everything should stay standard pretty much across the platform. So for organic sales, I want to see people with at least a 2.5 to a 5%, if not higher, click-through rate. I'd consider anything over 5 to be literally godlike as far as most products go. Conversion rate, 8 to 15% is kind of standard. I would say the higher, the better, obviously. So for things like branded terms, you always want to be much higher than that, usually 25%, if not higher than that. Anything over 25%, again, godlike, great job. Now, that being said, for PPC, anything over 0.5 is what I'm going to consider to be pretty good for click-through. Anything over 6% is what I would consider to be okay for conversion rate. So I typically want to see a little bit higher conversion, usually around 12 on the conversion for PPC, but it doesn't have to be. Really also depends, again, on, yes, the category. Does optimizing title, bullet points, product description regularly make the ads cheaper? Yeah, absolutely. You are increasing your ability for SEO, indexing and ranking, right? And with that in mind, you are also making it so that you can essentially target more, right? You're increasing your overall funnel size. So if you think of like a funnel, like an oil funnel of some kind, right? Adding more organic SEO to your title, bullet points, description, indexing more opens up that funnel. But you're not just opening that funnel at the top with it, because if you keep your click-through rate and conversion numbers, you're essentially taking a funnel that's like this, and you're just going like this. You're just making everything wider, right? More, I'm trying to even that out, but you're just making everything wider. I guess you're going and creating a funnel like this versus a funnel like this. No, I missed the ASIN review. When's the next one? I don't know. I know I talked about it last week, right? And then I remembered we're doing a listing optimization. So I kind of just turned the listing optimization into an ASIN review thing. We'll do another one here soon. If you're looking for an ASIN review, though, head over to our website. We have a little button up at the top on the My Amazon Guy website for a free ASIN audit. That we'd be happy to. I'll share my screen so everyone can see this nice little button here. Anyone ever want an ASIN review from somebody on my team, somebody I've trained to know what looks good, what doesn't, what metrics you should have? Come over to my AmazonGuy.com website, click on this free audit here. We'll get you an audit and whatnot. We're actually going to be updating this video here as well sometime here soon. So maybe if you head over there sometime in the next couple of weeks, the next week or so, you'll see a different video here, and it will be my face. How interesting. All right. A keyword that is generating good results on exact or phrase or on broad match type, but bad on other match types. What's the best strategy to remove other match types that are causing high budget flow? Negate for that match type. I mean, that's kind of the only thing, right? So if you're doing well on exact, but it doesn't do well on phrase and broad, just negate that keyword for phrase and broad. So keyword negation is kind of, I think, what you're asking here. I believe my listing is being targeted with review bombing in an attempt to harm its reputation, possibly by feeding false info to information to Rufus. Is that happening? I don't know. I've heard people talk about stuff like this. Rare. You say by feeding false info to information to Rufus. I don't care about Rufus. The customers don't care about Rufus. Nobody uses Rufus. Amazon, I think it was like 2-3 months ago, tried to claim some stat or something where they were saying something like 60 or 70% of consumers use Rufus or have used Rufus, I think was their claim. And so I literally just went out and I created a poll and I asked people, have you ever used or heard of Rufus on the Amazon platform? And it was an overwhelming, like 93% it was 87% of people had never heard of nor used Rufus. And only 13% had said that they had used it, but most of that 13% was like, I didn't like it. I don't think Rufus is nearly as impactful as you think it might be in this context. Now, the review bombing, that could be happening. I would start a seller support case with Amazon, and I would just report any reviews that you see that aren't verified purchases. 3 generic products, no sale in 1 month with ads. What you suggest? Well, you have 3 generic products. What's your pricing? How much are you spending on advertising? Why don't you have brand registry? So my suggestion, get brand registry so you can actually register your products. Make sure that you're not significantly higher priced than your competition. Target actually high relevancy keywords for your ads if you're not already. And then you have a second question. My second question, starting one product with brand, is it good to start one product? Yeah, it's fine to start one product. There are people who are making millions upon millions of dollars per year off of a single product brand. We have plenty of clients that are, to be honest. On the prior order volatility question, we are 100% FBM. This was same when we were not running any ads. Our customer base is diverse. Time ranges or orders are completely random and unpredictable. Okay, so I don't think what you're saying here. This was same when we were not running any ads. Okay, so you're saying essentially it was this still issue when you weren't running ads. Have you checked your shipping templates and time zones? Because that's a pretty big issue. I mean, think about it this way, Daniel. If you have, let's say, a warehouse, I don't know, on the East Coast, and your shipping template is set up with zoning situations, right? And you get a lot of orders from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., which makes a lot of sense. That's kind of the time in which, East Coast people would be buying in the morning. But then you don't get any orders throughout the day, even when West Coast people should be buying. Could be a shipping template issue, right? So I would check things like that. Completely random, unpredictable. I find that hard to believe. People might just not be buying during that time. I would check when it's happening. Do consistent, take your ASIN, throw it into the search bar. Just spend like 2-3 days and once an hour, throw your ASIN into the search bar and see if you have a hidden suppression of some kind. If your ASIN pops up, there's no hidden suppression. When you say main compares regarding luxury product, you mean the top 5 competitors ranked for the root keyword in the niche, or the 5 luxury products that are successful for my My niche has luxury. 5 top competitors, the 5 main people that you would consider to be a competitor. Who are the top 5, or what are the top 5 products or brands within your category that you would say, my product is most similar to this person? They are going to be a direct hindrance to me taking market share. That is what I mean. Eric, hi, Noah. Are you doing ASIN reviews? I'm not doing ASIN reviews today, guys. I might come back to that later, Eric, but I'm not doing ASIN reviews today. You want an ASIN review, head on over to myamazonguy.com/ASIN. We'll do one for you. Hello, sir. I noticed that Amazon has added new bid adjustment options like Amazon business placements and audience. In your experience, would it be more effective to incorporate these placements into our existing PPC campaign, or should we create separate campaigns for these specific audiences? I'd appreciate your guidance on the best approach. It's funny you mentioned this, Asif, because I actually have a video, 2 videos coming out here shortly regarding the audience segmentation types and how you should be utilizing them in campaigns. My opinion is split here in the sense of, if you have active competitor campaigns, let's say, yeah, you should throw some audience targeting on there for things where people are likely to purchase, right? That's a great audience group to go after for competitor campaigns. If you have a campaign that is meant for B2B traffic right now, yeah, do the Amazon business placements. Now, is it going to probably be easier in the testing phase to just create new campaigns? Absolutely. I wouldn't really look at, taking campaigns that you're worried might have some negative come to them. That's probably the biggest thing. Also, you mentioned over 250 searches. That seems really over 30 days. I think you're saying low. What I would argue is, yeah, it is low. That's kind of the point. You don't want to only go after high search volume keywords. High search volume keywords also mean high competition. They also mean higher cost per click. They also are, if you, let's say, have 5 keywords that all have 250 search volume, so a total of 1,250 search volume in one campaign a month. If you have a click-through rate on that campaign of, let's say, 1%, right? That's going to be 12 clicks, quote unquote. That's not really how it works because you get more impressions off this, especially if it's like a broad match type or anything like that. But for math purposes here, right? And you have a conversion rate of, 15%. That's going to be 2 sales. If you only spend, I don't know, $6, $5 over the course of 30 days on, 2 sales, are you in the profits or are you not? I don't know, right? Like, yes, it is low search volume. Should that be your primary strategy, only going after 250 search volume? No, but it's how you grow in market share. Because if you can have that ad and target that 250 search volume ad to end up being the person who ranks organically number 1 for that 250 search volume, I'll take that all day long. I would take 10 different keywords that have 250 search volume a month, ranked organically number 1 on all 10 of them, over one keyword that I'm ranked organically number 50 on that has 5,000 search volume, or I guess 2,500 search volume if you want to make them comparable, right? Like it's how you have to play the game. Should that be your only strategy? No, you should go after high search volume, high relevancy, and high intent keywords as well. But for the purpose of long tail, most long tail phrases and keywords are going to be low search volume always. What is the best, most important criteria for product research on Amazon? US $5,000. What I'll tell you is $5,000 is not going to be great for starting on Amazon in this day and age. Super rare that that's enough money. To be entirely frank, if you asked me 5 years ago, I would tell you, yeah, 5K is probably fine. It's not enough nowadays. It's too high of a competition market. That might get you a decent product if you're paying, $1 a unit. But even then, your landed cost of goods for any product is hardly ever $1 a unit. And if it is, it's going to be real high competition. You need a giant ad budget. You need closer to $7,500 to $10,000 to, do a very successful launch in this day and age. $5,000 will be an okay launch. Now, what are the most important criteria? I'm not a product research expert by any means. I typically am going to look for something between the $25 and $50 range for purchase, because that's around the area that people make impulse buys. I'm usually going to be looking for a product that is consumable in some capacity. So I don't want to just do any type of product that somebody's going to buy once and never again. So then you can get some reorder value out of your products as well. A couple of different things. But realistically, I would probably, you should not start with the aspect of, I have $5,000. What do I do now? You should start with the aspect of, I would like to build this business and this product and sell this product. Here is the product that I'm selling and I know about for this reason. Theo, we own our brand registrants, and we are the only seller. We do okay, but wonder what your pricing strategy would be. Coupons, sales. I'm not the biggest fan of coupons at the end of the day. Something that I think people have lost the eye for is dynamic pricing, which I find to work really, really well. Just doing a 3 to 4 day really cheap or really steep discount, 20, 25%. That's kind of steep for a lot of people. And then from there, just do things such as brand tailored promotions where you have very high intent buyers that you're trying to re-engage. That's usually the type of thing that I'm looking at for most decent pricing strategies, I should say. Michael, we have a product advertising in Amazon. Its main image highlighted twice. The box. Oh, crap. Sorry, someone's calling me. God, deny this. There we go. we have a product advertising in Amazon, its main image highlighted twice the box where the information is visible than the product itself. Do you think that part is needing adjustment? Advertising on Amazon, its main image highlighted twice the box where the information is. I don't think I understand what you mean by main image highlighted twice the box where the information is visible than the product itself. I don't think I understand your question, Michael. I think what you're saying is maybe you have like the top keywords on your box as like a main image CTR, which is good, but you still have to have your product in the image usually is what I would suggest. I clicked BIL excluded on my listing. I don't want to sell internationally. How do I close the listing in those international Amazon marketplaces? I need to close Mexico, Canada, and Brazil. Can you show me where to go do that? And do I delete the listing? Should I close them? You can delete the listing in those marketplaces. That's what I would do. You can also just close the listing in those marketplaces. All you have to do is go and manage inventory in that marketplace, go over and close the listing. You also, as a really easy way to just solve all of this, if you don't want to sell in those marketplaces, it sounds like you don't, just go to that marketplace, go to your account information section, and just mark off that or set yourself as on vacation. Makes it so you can't sell a single thing. That's in my opinion, easiest way to solve your problem here. Do you guys handle TikTok Shop violations? Setting up with TikTok Shop is the absolute worst. Worse than Seller Central. Yeah, we don't. For kind of that exact reason. I don't believe in TikTok Shop lasting. I think it'll last. I just don't think it's going to grow. But yeah, we don't handle it, unfortunately. And it got so much worse after they fired 50% of their staff. Ballin, thanks for the information. You're the best. No problem. Ballin, that's fun. Hi, bro. Hey, what's the best aggressive strategies to be indexed in exact keywords that you recommend, that or slowly and broad strategies? So indexing, I would probably say do both at the same time. So I don't care as much. I mean, you have to have organic, right? So I would put in your search terms first and foremost to be able to try and index for it. Search terms, alt text, those would be great for indexing. If you're trying to index and rank, I would do both exact and broad. That would be definitely the strategy there, because you want to get sales volume. So sales volume is how you are going to rank on things. And I care a little bit more about ranking than I do indexing, just because, it's better for the algo. If you have a bunch of keywords you're ranking for. That being said, yeah, I would definitely focus exact and broad. If you really only care about indexing specifically for that word, I would probably just do an exact. Thanks. So for those generic 3 products, each with auto campaign works best or manual, as said earlier, no sale in the month. Each works best or manual. So I don't ever do just an auto campaign. You want to have an auto campaign. You want to have at least 3 manual campaigns, usually 2 broad, 1 exact, maybe a video campaign if you really can. Yeah, it sounds like you're not targeting correctly. It's kind of the thing. And if they're generic, I wonder what your pricing is. What's your click-through rate on that auto campaign? What's your conversion rate? Sounds like maybe you're not spending enough, or maybe as well you're way too high priced. Maybe your designs need some work for click-through. Maybe you're not targeting. That's there's a lot of reasons here, Sarmella, that you could be having no sales. Amazon has had my shipment since June 11th. Only 130 of 1,000 units have been located. It's over a month now. What can I do? My units sold out during Prime Day. I thought these units would be live by now. You can only submit seller support tickets and ask them to try and speed it up, Viper, unfortunately. Amazon has a 90-day policy on being able to receive goods, and you cannot file any kind of complaint or ticket until after that 90 days. Now, is that going to stop anyone from submitting a case to seller support and being like, what gives? It's been X amount of time. No, I absolutely would still do that. But you're just not going to get a lot of movement with it, unfortunately. Especially nowadays, right now with Prime, people before Prime, Amazon was super low inventory or super low warehouse spacing for inventory. And so I know a lot of people sent in a lot of inventory around this time, before Prime and after. And so the warehouses are probably pretty backed up, to be honest. Can I just delete it through the listing by deactivating it? Yeah. But how to confirm a good keywords to be indexed on? How do you validate a good keyword? I validate a good keyword in a couple of capacities. So we have a couple of videos on this, but a good keyword is typically going to be one that has decent search volume. It has high relevancy. So what is relevancy? Well, if you can't figure out if a keyword is relevant for your product or not, then I wonder if you know anything about your product. But I don't mean that as a dig there, Trends. So high relevancy within a keyword. It is, I guess, still relevancy technically is what I'm going for here, but relevant to the category and within use case of the product. It has searchability, so it's not a random string of text of some kind. People are searching, it's a search volume. I mean, yeah, those are kind of the main ones. Are your competitor, what I said before with competitors is kind of the big thing in my mind, especially if you're kind of lower on the totem pole. The big thing that people, I think, forget is that once you get to be like rank 1, for instance, in a category, you can very frequently, through things such as just like broad campaigns, start indexing on keywords you don't even realize that you're indexing. It's super common just because you have search volume at that point and you have organic that you can build off of at that point. So let's see. Richie. Amazon is limiting my shipment reservation, but come Q4, I need to increase this, even though my sell-through for the past few months hasn't been like it has been in the past, so Amazon lowered it. What should I do? Say or do to be able to allow Amazon to increase the reservation for the new shipment because I can't ship past mid-October, so I don't run out. What are best strategies? So the reservation thing, they lowered it for everyone. It's not just you. The reservation aspect is lowered just because of Prime Day. That'll probably clear up here within the next few weeks, and you should be able to have a higher reservation. The biggest thing I would say is look at doing something like AWD. It's unfortunate, but that's kind of the thing, is Amazon is pushing more and more people into AWD. So if you are somebody who has this problem, you are running out of stock, you're afraid you're running out of stock, AWD is going to be probably your best case scenario. There are other options outside AWD, but that's going to be the biggest and easiest solve, I would say. We sell a brand that we are the only seller anyway to compete on price / buy box. You're the only other seller on Amazon, so I don't understand what you mean by compete on buy box. I think I answered this basically already, but I don't know. If I didn't, let me know. There are a lot of relevant keywords that I index for, but show no keyword sales and a little low sales in search query. Do I still use those even though I'm ranked top 10 and very low search volume under 200? Relevant keywords I index for, but show no keyword sales and a little low sales search query. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to. This is, again, more so in line with the long tail strategy I was talking about. If you're already indexed for them, you could look at ranking for them. So if you're indexed, that's probably why you're not getting sales, because you're not ranked for them. If you've never advertised against them, that's also probably why. So that's a big aspect to it. At the end of the day, it's kind of dealer's choice. You can do a test for 2 weeks or so, see if you can get any incremental sales from it. I would probably throw it into more of a broad match type targeting just to see if there are other ones you can index for and rank for alongside it as well. So, okay. Well, and with that said, we are just about at the hour mark and out of questions. So I think I will call it there for today. Very quick, very efficient today. I think I got through everything pretty much the exact order very, very quickly. So all that being said, let me share screen real quick. That's not what I want. There we go. For those that don't know, we are My Amazon Guy. We are a full-service Amazon and direct-to-consumer agency helping people grow their brands across all e-commerce markets and facets. If you are somebody who is selling on Amazon, Shopify, Walmart, or needs help with Meta or Google advertising, reach on out to us. We also have this nice little banner at the bottom with our First Aid Amazon Seller Crisis Kit. So feel free to go check that out. Give that a download. It has a ton of super useful information in it as well. We have tons and tons of services. We do pretty much everything, like I said, A to Z. So if you're interested or have any problems on Amazon whatsoever, feel free to reach out to us. And again, if you want a free ASIN audit, head on over to myamazonguy.com/ASIN.
Get your Amazon product.
And we will give you guys a free audit on your ASIN. All that being said, again, my name is Noah Wickham. I'm VP of Sales and Marketing here at My Amazon Guy. I do this every single week where I come in and I answer all of your questions that you have. So if you have any next week, I will be live at 12 p.m. Eastern next Friday. So hope everyone has a great weekend and great week ahead. Thank you, everybody.